Rosh Hashanah Daf Chav, how's everybody doing? They said the halacha that if you have an other that's really close to Nisan, in other words, there's one other, so it's close to Nisan, or two others, so the second other or the first other or one other is always 29 days. And that would be a major question on what we had yesterday, because what is the purpose of being Mechal Shabbos in order to testify on Rosh Chodesh Nisan? We can make the calculation, others are going to be 29 days. And if you're going to tell me because there's a mitzvah to use Eidim to be Mekadesh the month, then every month, just like we had in the time of Beis HaMikdash, they used to be Mekadesh every month with Eidim so that the Karban Musaf would be on time. There's a halacha that you can add another day to Elul, typically it's 29 days, where Yom Kippur is back to back with Shabbos, and we don't want the dead to lay around for 2 days. And on Yom Tov, where you could use a guy for the dead, so machlokes, could you add another day in order so that people should have fresh vegetables? On the one hand, people need fresh vegetables. On the other hand, you can just take the vegetables, soak them in hot water, the Gemara says, and it'll come back to being fresh. This idea of adding a day is only in Bavel where it's really hot and there's a problem with the dead and vegetables. According to Acherim, we don't threaten the Eidim, we don't tell them to lie. Rosh Lakish, Reb Shua ben Levi says it's to add another day where over there they don't lie, but according to Reb Dimi, it's only to be Mekadesh the month where it doesn't look like a lie because everybody sees the moon outside. But if it's Shalei L'Tzorech, it's not necessary. It also says the Brisa, and we're going to explain soon. Rava says that the Brisa, when it says Shalei L'Tzorech, you can't add another day, even if you need it for vegetables for the dead. That's only according to Das Yachid. What does that mean? The famous Acherim say that the way it works, the months alternate from a 29-day month to 29-30. Therefore, every year has 354 days, which if you divide it by the weeks, it's 50 weeks and 4 days. So it'll come out every single year. For Shana, let's say, is this year on a Sunday, next year will be on a Thursday, 4 days later. Every Yom Tov will be 4 days later the following year. And therefore, you can't add another day because it's perfect. It's always 29-30. Shmuel comes along and says, I know how to make a calendar. So they asked him, Abba asked him, if you know how to make a calendar, what's the pshat in the Brisa? Noilad koydem chatzois or noilad lacher chatzois? Cryptic language. Shmuel didn't know. He says, if you don't know that, you can't make a calendar. But what does it really mean? So let's explain for a second what Moilad means. Moilad means the birth of the new moon. We know the moon goes around Earth every 27 1/3 days. In fact, the moon goes around the Earth approximately 13 times a year. But we know that it goes around the Earth 29.5 days approximately, meaning it lines up with the sun every 29. It takes another 2 days to catch up to the sun. What does it mean? It means from our vantage point, when we're standing on Earth and we're looking at the sun and the moon is in between the Earth and the sun, we can't see the moon at all. When we can't see the moon at all, that's the Moilad. That's when it's born. A little bit before that is the old moon, and a little bit after that is the new moon. So in Eretz Yisrael, the new moon you cannot see for 6 hours. And in Bavel, the old moon you can't see for 6 hours. But it doesn't matter where you are. There's always a 24-hour period where you cannot see the moon. And what is the difference? The difference is that if Eidim come and say that within that 24-hour period they saw the moon, we know that they're lying. Reb Zera says that in order to be Mekadesh HaChodesh, you need that the night and the day should be part of the new moon. In other words, if you saw a little bit of the old moon before the Moilad at night, you cannot be Mekadesh the moon that day. How do we know that the day goes after the night? That in the Jewish calendar, Yom Tov start at night, Shabbos, everything starts from the night. So one pshat is because it says that by Yom Kippur, mi erev ad erev, it starts in the night and ends at the night. And that would mean from the beginning of the night. According to Rosh Lakish, on the other hand, he learns it from a different pasuk. It says by Pesach, ad yoyim esrim ve'echad b'erev, you mechuyev to eat matzah up until chatzos, and from that point on, you don't have to eat matzah. So Abai says there's no difference to Rosh Lakish in the first pshat. They're just arguing what pasuk to learn it from. But according to Robert, there's a fundamental machlokes here. And that is, what if somebody saw the moon after dark, but before chatzos? So according to Rosh Lakish, chatzos is the cutoff point. Before chatzos is a different day. So if you saw the moon before chatzos, I could still testify about the moon right after chatzos, and be mekadesh l'chodesh. Have a wonderful day.